Hello and welcome back to A Game of One's Own. I'm your host, Maddy Searle. My pronouns are she, her. And today I'm going to share with you the second and final part of my playthrough of Mountaintop Isolation by Lionne Publishing. If you'd like to pick up the game for yourself, just follow the link in the show notes. Last we left off, Cara had been trapped in an isolated mountaintop cabin by a terrible blizzard. She's had to contend with fears about the friends who invited her, a terrible beast who may live in the woods, and the harsh conditions on the mountain. Don't forget to check the show notes for any content warnings. So, without further ado, let's get back into the story. Alright, day 7, let's do this. 6, oh my goodness, okay. Whew. Card number 1, Jack of Hearts. Huddled next to the fireplace for warmth, you think about your family back home. What will they say when they find out what happened to you? Will they ever find out? Pull from the tower. Okay. There's a lot of gaps in this tower now. Right. Let's have a think. I'm going by the rule that if I don't pull too much and I stop, then I can choose another block, because that's how I roll. Okay, this one seems good. This one seems good. Yes. Yes. Good. Next card, 3 of Hearts. Hanging from the trees not so far into the woods is the skeleton of some large beast, tied together with twine. How did it get there? And more importantly, why? Pull from the tower. Okay. Yep. Good. Nee. Okay, done it. Just gotta put it down. Sick. All right, next card number 3. 8 of Diamonds. A rumbling in the clouds above you. Thunder snow. Lightning strikes a tree next to the cabin and it crashes to the ground scant feet away from the structure. Okay, that was a close shave. No tower pools, that's good. Card number 4. 2 of Spades. Carving a path away from the cabin, you find an emergency radio buried in the snow, missing a couple parts. If this isn't the 3rd radio card drawn, shuffle it back into the deck and draw a new card. Okay, this goes back into the deck then, I guess. Interesting. A glimmer of hope, but not for now. This is the new card number 4. Ace of Diamonds. There is finally a break in the storm as the wind dies down to a more manageable breeze that still chills you to the bone. It looks as if the storm is clearing away, but you still need to find a way to get off the mountain as your car is still buried in a snowdrift. Do not discard this card, but set it to one aside. That is good. Good to know. Right, next card. Number 5. 5 of Hearts. Sun shining on the window panes gives you hope as you see a break in the otherwise stormy sky. Maybe the blizzard will be over soon. Pull from the tower. Oh God. Where shall I pull from? There we go. Near the top. Not too bad. It's all going fine. Last card for the day. 7 of Spades. The dresser in one of the bedrooms is mostly empty except for some discarded trash from past occupants and what looks to be a hand crank for an old emergency radio. Pull from the tower. Another tower pull. Great. This is fine. There's a bit in the middle where there's just one block, so that is scaring me quite a bit. But we can try near the top, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. Okay, I have my 6 cards for the day. So, be back for a nice, meaty entry very soon. Another night in the cabin. A full week since I arrived. I'm huddled right up by the fire in this moth-eaten blanket. I've been thinking about my family. I've been terrible at keeping in contact with my mums recently. And although I'd actually love to catch up with them, the longer I leave it, the guiltier I feel, the less likely I am to just pick up the phone and call them. So they don't even know I'm here. They'd be horrified if they knew what was happening. They'd probably call the police, fire brigade and ambulance all at once, but they don't know. And if I don't get out of here, they might never know. Ooh, better not go down that path. Okay, what actually happened today? First thing, I went to have a look around the edge of the woods. Despite myself, I couldn't help but think about how beautiful the trees looked, like they were dusted with icing sugar. But then I saw something impossible. It was a huge skeleton, and the skull had this long snout and protruding canine teeth. It was hanging from one of the trees, all tied together with what looked like twine. I instantly thought about that drawing in the notebook I found. The similarities were undeniable. Part of me wanted to get closer to see if I could figure out anything else about what this creature might have been, or if it was even real, but panic took over and I rushed back to the cabin. Did someone kill this thing and string up the skeleton as a warning? Or is it just some kind of edgy art installation for cabin visitors to stumble across and get freaked out over? I don't think I'm ready to come to any conclusions. It was a good thing I got back to the cabin when I did, because the sky started to darken and I could hear the rumbling of thunder in the distance. I holed up inside and tried to distract myself with a book that I hadn't used for the fire yet. But as the thunder got closer, I found myself reading the same sentence over and over again, until suddenly there was a huge crash and a flash of light. I rushed to the window and peered out. Lightning had struck a tree next to the cabin, sending it toppling over and missing the window by just a few feet. Well, I'll be able to gather up some branches and dry them out for the fire, I guess. Although I'm so relieved that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, the fact that it was so close is fucking terrifying. As the thunderstorm subsided, the blizzard began to die down too. And at the moment, the skies are clearer than they've ever been. There's still a bitter wind and my car is still completely inaccessible. But maybe the storm is finally ending. As the sun was setting, orange and pink light glinted off the window pane that had been narrowly missed by the falling tree. And I struggled with this feeling of hope that I was suddenly faced with. I can't give up. I have to believe that I can get out of here, but I have to manage my expectations too. And I have to stay focused on the here and now. Last thing before I try and get some sleep. I was doing another search of the cupboards and dressers in the bedroom and managed to find what looked like the crank handle for a portable radio among some other junk. It's obviously useless by itself, but I think it's a good idea to hang on to it on the off chance I can find more components and rig something up. I'm not a techie by any means, but if it might help me get out of here, I'm willing to try anything. Oh my goodness, we've survived to day 8. And it's time to roll the die again. 3. That's a nice manageable number. First card. Queen of Diamonds. A gust of wind reveals an emergency supply crate outside the cabin. Unfortunately, it is on the other side of a frozen pond that you must cross. But how certain are you that the ice is thick enough to cross? Roll 1d6. On a 1 to 3, your foot plunges into the icy cold water. You'll need to find a way to warm your foot before frostbite sets in. On 4 to 6, the ice holds firm and you are able to cross. There are scant rations in the supply crate, which looks as if some kind of large beast got into it before you. That's a whole lot of information. Wow. Let's roll to see what happens. 1. Yeah, I've got a cold foot. Brilliant. Okay, so my character does not know about the beast shenanigans. Maybe that's for the best. Card number 2. Queen of Clubs. Your phone manages to barely get 1 bar of reception for a blip of a moment, and you receive a text message from one of the friends you were meant to meet up with this weekend. The text sends ice into your already frozen veins. What does it say? I don't know. What does it say? I'll have to find out very soon. Okay. Final card of the day. 4 of Spades. Wandering around the covered porch of the cabin, you step on something that cracks. On closer inspection, you find a radio antenna. Possibly from an old emergency radio. Yeah. Okay, I am getting so into this. That is my final card of the day. I will be back with a new entry very soon. It's day 8, and I'm no closer to finding a way to leave this place. I had the tiniest moment of triumph when a gust of wind blew away a tarp behind the cabin and revealed some kind of supply crate underneath it, but it was blocked off by a frozen pond, so if I wanted to check it out, I'd need to cross it. I tested it tentatively with my right foot, but as soon as I put more weight on it, it broke through the ice and was plunged into freezing cold water. I dashed back to the cabin as quickly as I could and mixed up some boiling water from the kettle with some cold tap water to make a foot bath. It hurt like hell, but I managed to warm it up enough that I don't think frostbite will be an issue for now. While I was bathing my foot, my phone had a notification alert and I scrabbled to get it out of my pocket. Just as I unlocked it, I saw a single bar of reception flicker out of existence at a text message icon at the top of the screen. It was from Jason. It said, "Don't go to the cabin. Severe weather warning. Been trying to call all morning. Where are you?" I don't know if I can describe exactly how I felt in that moment. Part of me felt relief that Jason obviously cared enough about me to try and warn me. But another part of me was furious at myself. If I had just waited a little longer before going up the mountain, I would have got the message and none of this would have happened. And then I remembered the note in my pocket from Martha. Did she know this was going to happen? I feel ridiculous for suspecting her, but I can't shake the feeling that she could have planned this somehow. No, I can't think about that right now. One tiny wind today. I was clearing snow from the porch and heard a crack as I stepped on something. A radio antenna had fallen in between the floorboards of the porch. I picked it up and set it on the bedroom dresser with the crank handle. Why did someone take the radio apart? No. Bad thoughts. Bad thoughts. Time for a book and some sleep. If I can sleep. Alright, we're on to day 9. We have 2 bits of the radio. 5 cards. Okay, there's a high chance one of those will be a radio card. Or, like, a bunch of kings and I die. Okay. Ace of Spades. That's my 3rd ace. If I get one more, then I have a chance at a good ending. Okay. What does Ace of Spades say? You find a generator in a half-buried storage shed not far from the cabin. You are able to get it started and warm up the cabin through the power generated, but are well aware there isn't enough gas to last more than a few days. Set it to one side. Okay, that is good. That is good. Things are on the up. Possibly, maybe. Famous last words. Card number 2. 4 of Hearts. Scoping out the woods around the cabin, a ball of light blinks into existence in the air before you, then shoots off into the forest as you attempt to chase after it. Was it even real, or are you beginning to hallucinate? Alright, okay. Next card. 5 of Spades. The pipes have frozen from the bitter cold temperatures. Pull from the tower. Ooh, dear. Okay. That should do for now. Alright. 9 of Clubs. You're stuck in your thoughts of the friends you were meant to meet here. They had called you out of the blue to invite you on this trip just last week. You had considered it odd at the time that they thought of you. It's been years since you last spoke. Pull from the tower. Let's give this a shot. Okay, that was pretty precarious, but we managed it. I managed it for now. Last card of the day. King of Spades. Not so good. Not so good. As you wait out the storm in the cabin, a sharp crackling noise makes you look up as a section of the roof tears away in the wind, exposing a corner of the cabin to the outside world and releasing the captured heat from the fireplace. Ooh, that's spicy. That's a very interesting day. Let's see how it plays out in the entry. Things are really going to shit now. There was another storm last night. It felt like the whole world was rumbling and shaking and breaking apart, and then the cabin did break apart. Part of the roof tore away right near the fireplace. The remaining roof is better than nothing, but trying to keep warm is going to be even harder now. And on top of that, the pipes have finally frozen. I did manage to find a generator in an old shed near the cabin, but there's only enough gas to last a few days, and the fucking hole in the roof is going to leach all the heat away. I tried to go for a walk by the woods to clear my head, but that was a fucking mistake. I saw something glowing in the distance between the trees. Looking closer, it seemed to be some kind of ball of light. I tried to run after it, thinking someone might have come to find me. But as I dashed after it, tripping over roots and getting hit by stray branches, it shot away into the forest and I lost sight of it. Am I fucking seeing things now? I just can't handle this much longer. And I keep thinking about Martha. She always loved a prank or a scheme when we were at university. Most of the time it was harmless, but sometimes it would go just a bit too far. Especially when she was angry at someone and wanted payback. Jason could sometimes get swept up in these sorts of things, but would always apologise if things got too hairy. Martha was less willing to admit fault, though. Did I do something to make her angry with me? Or is it just because we were out of touch for so long? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, day 10. I've made it this far. If I don't make it to the end, I will be very, very sad. Okay, rolling the die. 6. Card number 1, Queen of Hearts. You strain your ears to hear anything over the wind whipping against the cabin's windows, hoping against hope that your friends, or maybe even a ranger, will come to rescue you. Time for card number 2. The 2 of Diamonds. The storm momentarily clears as you attempt to walk outside. The sun peeks through the clouds, causing everything to be a blinding white. The sound of branches worries you. What caused that noise? You can't see and stumble back inside the cabin. Interesting. Card number 3. King of Diamonds. Oh dear, we're neck and neck with aces and kings, so either one of them could mean the end. Right, so what does the King of Diamonds say? The wind and snow continue to batter at the mountainside. It's so desolate and cold, so very cold. The beginnings of hypothermia have well and truly set in. Excellent. That's good. Card number 4, 6 of Hearts. A crackling crunch sounds outside the cabin and you can't shake the feeling you're being watched by someone or something. Card number 5, 7 of Hearts. You find a hidden cupboard in the living room near the fireplace with a deck of cards and what appears to have been a scorecard for a game played by past visitors to the cabin. The paper is old and crumpled. The words, "I'll beat you next time," scrawled in bold letters across the bottom. Pull from the tower. Oh, great. This is really starting to stress me out. Okay, starting. I'm kidding myself. I've been stressed this whole time. Whew, done. Okay, good. One more card for today. Let's see what it is. 3 of Spades. Still alive, baby. A strong burst of wind shakes the cabin ferociously, and suddenly the stones of the chimney come crashing down into the fireplace, smothering the fire. Pull from the tower. Let's see how we go. There's some good wobble in that tower, but it's still up. Still up. Let's get this entry written. 10 days. 10 whole days. When will this fucking end? I thought the storm had cleared again this morning. There was a glimmer of sunlight through the clouds, and then it emerged, making everything blindingly white. I could have sworn I heard branches breaking, like someone was moving nearby, but it was hard to see anything clearly. I went back to the cabin to grab the last can of peaches for breakfast and tried not to think about it too hard. Even back inside the cabin, I thought I heard another crunch nearby, but still, nothing I could see. Despite the bright morning, the storm is back now. The wind is relentless. I keep trying to listen out for any signs of cars or helicopters or any sign of human life, but even if there were someone out there, I'd probably have no idea. The cabin is in even more disrepair than before. The chimney collapsed and rubble came falling down onto the fire, so I had to try and relight it on a pile of crumbling brick and plaster. It's trying its best to stay lit, but the hole in the roof isn't making it easy, and I can't stop shivering. I was looking for more paper to help restart the fire and found what looks like a scorecard for a game, probably left behind by previous visitors. Innocent enough, but someone had written on it in big chunky capitals, "I'll beat you next time." I'm trying not to let those words have any more significance than they should, but it's fucking difficult. Alright, I keep saying this could be the final day, but this really could be the final day. This could. I'm scared. Okay, let's roll the die again. 1. Maybe not. It's an ace! It's an ace! It's an ace! I have a chance to win. I have a chance to win. Okay. What does it say? What does it say? Ace of clubs. A lone voice calls out from farther down the mountain, and as you squint, you can see someone making their way up the snowy mountainside on skis. Who is it? You don't see them again, not for a while at least. But maybe they'll find you in the snowed-in cabin. Hope sparks like a warm glow inside you. Do not discard this card. If this is the 4th ace drawn, you may attempt to weather the wintry conditions either by holing up in the cabin, making your way down the mountain for help by way of skis, snowshoes, or more. There is no guarantee of success, and if you fail, you are lost to the elements for good, and the game is over. Turn to the finale section to determine the result of your game. Finale, all 4 aces drawn. You can't stay at the top of this mountain forever, and with the storm hopefully behind you, you decide you need to get out of this desolate space. You dig your car out of the deep drift it was buried in, now lessened over the days since the storm was at its peak. The door is frozen shut, but with time and care, you manage to force your way into the driver's seat and start the car. Success! Pool 5 blocks from the tower. Oh boy, I have no idea if the tower can handle that. Let's see how we go. Oh, that took for flipping ever, but we've got 1 out. 1 and done. Number 2. 2 is out. Okay. We might be able to do this. But just... No! No, I've scared the cat. The tower has fallen. I failed. Okay, let me read what it says in the book. Oh no, I was so close. If the tower falls, this is your breaking point, when all your hope was gained and lost in one fell swoop as you realize there is no visible way down the mountain. Even if you have made it into the car itself, you lose the last thread of what hope you still had left. Write your final journal entry. Ooh dear. I thought I'd made it. I thought someone had come to rescue me. But it was all for nothing. This morning I heard a voice and ran outside to see if I could find out who it was. Far down the mountain I saw someone with skis, and it looked like they were coming up towards me. I yelled and yelled, but didn't get any response, and they disappeared from sight behind an outcropping. But I just couldn't wait. I had to go find them. I gathered up what little supplies I could scrape together, put on my jacket, and managed to take my car out of the snow. It took me an age to open the door, but at last I got in and started driving. But in my rush, I drove too quickly and fell. I crashed the car down onto this ledge. My leg looks all twisted and strange, and it hurts so much. There's no way down from here. I'm trapped. And the storm is getting worse again. It's so cold. I'm not gonna make it. Mama. I love you both so much. I'm sorry. I have to give up now. I have to rest. Ooh, Well, that was one hell of a ride. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I was so invested. I thought I was so close to getting out, but yeah, unfortunately, that's just not the way the cards were dealt, quite literally. Thank you so much for coming along for the first story in A Game of One's Own. I am really excited to try loads more cool indie games and bring on some special guests to play some 2-player games with me. Thanks so much to Anya of Lionne Publishing for designing such a cool and evocative game, and do remember to check it out in the show notes if you want to play it for yourself. But for now, I think it's time to wrap things up. I have been your host, Maddy Searle, and I will be back soon with another story for you.